Well, I'll tell you what, if you're in the pursuit of greatness, which is what we're all trying to pursue, right? We all have a different definition of it, but at the same time, they all require the same commitment, obsession, dedication, perfection of your craft, and understanding of how to implement and execute. Those things happen by being surrounded by people who, if they don't understand it, at least understand that's who you are, and that's what you need to do to get to that next level. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bridging the Divide podcast. I'm your host, Rolando Bonilla. Look, I don't got to tell you, you're feeling it right now. You're seeing it, you're feeling it. This economy is teetering on the brink of recession. And as I heard Jamie Dimon say recently, the head of JP Chase, one of the biggest banks in the world, for some people, we're already there, right? Because people are going through tough times right now. Gas is $20 a gallon, I think. Food prices are going up. Every time you turn on the news or read the paper, you're seeing the latest round of layoffs from some of the biggest companies in the world. And it can be a little overwhelming. It can be a little, exhausting, disheartening for all of you out there that are in the small business entrepreneurial world, particularly those of you that I'm talking to that are, as it is, even in the best of times, we're working from -20 just to get to baseline to then start, right? And so to me, this is a great time to assess the circle around you, to assess where you want to be. And I think the biggest thing, I've been through these before, 07, 08 with the recession, the COVID recession. I've been here. The ups and the downs of the economy are just par for the course for those of us in business. But, one of the things that I'm very mindful of even now is the reality that, back to what I said earlier, even in good times, there has to be a level of obsession when building something. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. I recently saw an iconic is the brand, a photo of Kobe Bryant, where it's LA Lakers Kobe Bryant looking at Lower Merion High School Kobe Bryant, and Lower Merion High School Kobe Bryant's asking, "What's it take?" And LA Laker Kobe Bryant responds, "Everything." And so that doesn't change for all of us, even in these times. If anything, this is a time where things get filtered out, right? Those of you that really, really want this are going to figure out a way to continue staying afloat, thriving. And those of you that, just like a lot of people, talk about wanting to be in business, this is where you break and you end up, going to law school or the MBA or the master's program because business wasn't for you, and the employment market is, according to the latest jobs report by the Federal Reserve, I think the latest report said that job growth was at 0. So these are without a doubt tough times. But it's more the reason why those of us that are in business need to stay focused, need to stay committed, and candidly need to stay away from distractions. The reality of it is, as it is, people already think a lot of us are crazy for being single track minded in our pursuit of wanting to become great at what we do, in our pursuit to build this, in our pursuit to be responsible, right? For those of you that have employees like I do, to ensure that they and their families are also taken care of. So to be in business is, to an extent, to be obsessive, to be crazy, to see something that most people can't see. You have to have that vision. And so in these times, more than any other times, being around people who are constantly trying to pull you away from that is the most dangerous thing to what it is that you're building, right? You can't be in an environment where you're constantly getting pulled from what it is that you do, or from, being put in a position of second guessing yourself in terms of whether what you're doing is right, whether what you're doing is wrong. Look, I'll be the first to say I would argue that most people that are around me every day probably think I'm boring. I don't think I'm that much fun. I mean, I think I'm fun, but and the reason is I don't want to do a lot of things because doing those things gets in the way of the one thing I do want to do right. I only have one life. I only have one opportunity to do this right. I only have one opportunity to get to my goals. Look, I'm blessed. I've achieved a lot of the goals that I dreamt of, but there's also a lot of goals that I have failed at that I want to continue to do. And there are a lot of goals that I'm now entering into that are new to me that I want to pursue. Nothing wrong with that, right? I always tell folks I'm not for everyone. Now, I don't say that in a way to act like I'm cool. I'm nothing special. I'm just the guy with the dream and I'm just pursuing it. But at the end of the day, this is me, right? This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what makes me feel fulfilled, satisfied, happy. And you have to have that mindset, right? Particularly in times like right now where any little distraction, any little voice from the peanut gallery telling you that you're doing too much is sometimes the voice that can bring down the Titanic. Remember, no one saw that coming until it was right there in the middle of the ship and they were sinking. You don't want to be in that position. You want to stay true to who you are. You want to stay true to your mission. You want to stay focused. I know a lot of people, some of you do it too, who are constantly talking about, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build this. I'm going to own this. I'm going to do that. And they never do it. And they never do it because they're not willing to put in the time, the commitment, the sacrifice, even the loss of relationships that comes with this. They're not. It's no judgment. Right? This isn't for everyone, just like what they do isn't for everyone, right? But for you, if this is what you want, never has there been a time where you have to be so committed and so focused and so obsessive than the time that we're in right now. Because bad economies are very good at filtering out who deserves to get the benefits of the good economy and who dies now. I mean, it's just that simple. Right. So just so I'm clear, I'm not saying be so obsessed that you don't sleep 6 hours a day. I'm not saying, don't be so obsessed that you don't know what your kids look like, or critical relationships in your life don't merit some of your time. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the people around you that are constantly telling you you're doing too much, maybe now is a good time to shut them off, right? Maybe now is a good time to realize that as you're trying to get through these insane 30, 40, 50-foot tsunami level waves, sometimes you're better off doing it by yourself than to have folks around you constantly making you second guess whether what you're doing is right or wrong. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're in the pursuit of greatness, which is what we're all trying to pursue, right? We all have a different definition of it, but at the same time, they all require the same commitment, obsession, dedication, perfection of your craft, an understanding of how to implement and execute. Those things happen by being surrounded by people who, if they don't understand it, at least understand that's who you are and that's what you need to do to get to that next level. And that's the hard part, right? Because a lot of folks don't want to lose friends, don't want to lose relationships, don't want to lose all of these things that make us feel good. But feeling good isn't going to make you feel fulfilled when you're 99, reflecting on your life and asking yourself, did I do everything it took to achieve my dreams? Well, no, because, my friend Jimmy wanted me to hang out more, and so I hung out more. And in the process, I lost focus and my dream died. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be happy about that. Right? And I know you've all heard this before. This is nothing new. What I am trying to share with you is more the practicality of it right now in these tough times, in that if you can't have a group of people around you who understand your level of obsession and can match it, you at the very least want a group of people around you that understand that you're doing what you have to do, and they're not going to go out of their way to distract you by making you feel as if what you're doing is abnormal. Well, it is abnormal, because if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was easy, everyone would be there. Right? You ever notice that it's easy to fill a stadium, Super Bowl Sunday, everyone's there. Everyone wants to be there. Everyone wants to watch TV. Go ask that same number of people to hit the gym tomorrow. Go ask that same number of people to go sacrifice themselves to build a business. Go ask that same number of people. You can't, right? Because it's easier to entertain people than it is to make them sacrifice and give up of themselves to make their dreams a reality, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, right? That's the big theme that I keep hearing, and it's one of the reasons why I've been off the air for a couple of weeks is because I've been really focused on the ground, not just with my businesses, but a lot of the others that I do work with right now. And the constant theme I'm hearing is right now is the time to build a team of folks, even if it's smaller, that are committed to scaling that mountain with you, that rather than having a team of folks that is arguing about whether we should go to the top of the mountain or arguing with you that your definition of success is not their definition of success, therefore don't impose it on me. Well, that's fine. I don't have to impose it on you. But at the same time, I don't have to be around you either, right? Like I don't have to hang out. I don't have to spend time with you because if you're not respecting the fact that I'm trying to be the best version of myself as possible, then that's fine. That's on you. But what I'm not going to do is sideline where I'm headed, right? Just because everyone around me thinks that I'm a little off because I'm pursuing this. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing it now. I'm getting business owners reaching out to me, asking me what we can do to help save their business. And when you take a quick inventory of the team, or you take a quick inventory of the folks that are around as a support group, it's pretty easy to see that the reason they're failing isn't necessarily because the product's bad, the service is bad. It's because you don't have a committed team that's focused on winning that championship. And for us in business in this environment, that championship is to recalibrate, to get stronger, for some, if you did this right, you're actually reaping the rewards of that by taking advantage of a down economy to get bigger and stronger. For others, this is a time to calibrate and make the adjustments because what you couldn't see before, you clearly see now, so that you are prepared for a better economy. You want to be in the best position to allow for your business to grow and right now survive for many, so that when it's up, then you can participate in that. And so right now it's really about no distractions. Right now it really is about shared mindset in terms of that obsession, because if you don't have that right now, you're going to feel some pain. And by the end of all of this, whenever that's coming, you probably won't be around in this form. Right? You'd probably be talking about what was and not what is, because you didn't make the necessary adjustments because you were too emotionally attached to the idea of, oh, I don't want to lose a friend, or I don't want to lose a partner, or I don't want to lose this or that. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. This is what you have to do. This is where you have to be. This is what it takes to be successful, right? When you get to the top of your mountain, whatever that mountain is, everyone around you will say, oh, I believed in you. And everyone around you will say, great job, or the other one, I get this one, oh, he got lucky. Who cares? Whatever. Point is, you got there. And now what wasn't clear to people is abundantly clear to everyone. Not that you're doing it for them, but you're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it because you understand that whether you get there or not should come down completely to you, and not to the voices in the peanut gallery telling you, giving you advice on things that they themselves don't understand because they haven't done them. Simple as that. So look, stay focused, get aggressive if you're not right now, because that's what it takes. Get hungry, find the right people that'll support you, that'll push you, that'll make you better, that'll understand you. If there was ever a time to not lose focus, this is it right now. One mistake, and for those of us that are not backed by, multinationals, that are not IPO, that are not, tech funds, investment, just bootstraps and word of mouth. One mistake is the difference between you being here in a couple of years or you dying now. Simple as that. So stay focused. I believe in you. Let's talk soon. This will be the end of season 2. Look forward to coming back for season 3 in a couple of weeks. Much more revamped, this time with guests, to give you some insight in terms of the business journey from the perspective of people who have done it other than me. So, all right, everyone, stay strong, stay obsessed, stay focused. You got this. Till next time.